Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Leos in late June 2026? We're getting very close to Leo season, my good friends. Hopefully, you're planning the parties, right? But let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the beautiful Leo collective in late June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have a good time today. Let's have some fun with this. All right, cool. So we have this high priestess-esque type of energy showing up, and I'm going to explain the meaning of that. This card does look pretty inconspicuous when you look at it. It looks pretty plain, but there is a lot of little minute symbolism going on there, which I always love to dig into. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this older divine feminine figure here. She looks very wise. She has a blank expression on her face, right? She has that little crystal ball in front of her with a key within it, and there's a lockbox right next to her. And that does imply that she holds on to some information or secrets. Now, she does remind me in a huge way of the High Priestess. And when I see the High Priestess, I think that she's the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. So this type of energy will show up when your gut instinct is trying to tell you about something. Maybe your energetic sensitivity is heightened. That could be a big thing for some of you. But the big thing with her is her hush hush nature, right? Now, that doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? She knows a lot, but she's not speaking much. So in this time, watch out for mysterious things, surprising things, unexpected things. And we're going to see if that energy bleeds through into the main part of the reading. Now, again, the good thing about her, she's a lay low, I'm watching and taking in information type of vibe too. So that's something to keep an eye on. But she does tie heavily into spirituality and intuition as well. So for some of you, maybe your gut is trying to tell you something. We're just going to let her chill out right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled An Unfinished Situation. So I'm not sure what everyone's got going on, whether this is something from like the distant past or recent past. It did feel like some unfinished business showing up in one way or another. So for some of you, maybe you're a little more sentimental, taking a trip down memory lane. Maybe you actually had the chance to square away some unfinished business. But that's something that could bleed over for a couple weeks. So just keep an eye on that. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the lovely Leos. What's happening in late June as we get closer and closer to birthday time? All right, we got the Emperor in position, number 1. Pretty good card. I mean, especially in a Leo reading, this is a really good card because it's an energy that works well with you. So we're going to get that Emperor chilling right there by the amethyst. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we could see for the beautiful Leos. Okay. Yeah, what? All right. So we got the 2 of Cups. This is pretty good energy. Let's get one more out here for my good friends. Okay. All right. So these 2 cards come out together. So right here on the back end, we have the Ace of Swords. That's intriguing. And we do also have a bonus. So there are some big silver linings for the Leo reading this week, because we have your power card as your bonus, the Sun right there. Cool. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. I'm feeling pretty neutral about what I'm seeing so far. If anything, leaning optimistic. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, we have a nice even distribution of elements. I always like to look at them because that paints a picture and frames the energy for us. We have fire, water, and air. A little more fire back there. Now, the reason I like the mixture is because if it was too much of one element, the energy could get very clunky or lopsided. But right here in the front, fire, that's your power element. That's your comfort zone. That's an energy that works seamlessly with Leo energy. And when it comes to fire, that's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions you want to take, the actions other people take, all of that could be in play. I think of energy levels. Usually, fire energy is like high vibrational. It could deal with health. It could deal with your energy levels. So whether you're feeling good and vibrant, maybe you feel like you've been burning the candle at both ends. You might be feeling a little down. But yeah, watch out for the physical vessel too when we have fire showing up. The only downside that I always say comes with fire is the explosive quality, right? Like sometimes fire could be very unpredictable. It could look like it's going one way and then move another. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. In the center, we have water, much more cool, calm, and collected than the fire element, right? Now, when it comes to water, that's matters of the heart, matters of emotion, things, people, situations that we're emotionally invested in, or things that we care about. It's a very sentimental type of energy, so I really like it. It's also super creative. So any sort of creative endeavor, creative pursuit, whether it's writing, music, art, great. This is a good outlet. Um, and yeah, love partnerships. That's a big thing when it comes to the water element. The only downside to the water is that it's always in and out, right? Like the tide comes in, the tide goes out. It's like in, out, up, down, back, forth. So that's something to keep an eye on here. Sometimes it could be overwhelming. Boom. Then we have the air. Very logical, straightforward, pragmatic, right? So it's like we have matters of the heart, matters of the mind, and actions that people take. So I love the mixture of stuff going on here. Now, swords, very much conversational because it could deal with either giving or receiving information. So usually the swords are pretty cool. It's again, it's just smart. It's like very practical with the way it views things. Like it's like, do I go with my heart or my mind on something? The only downside to the swords is that sometimes it could overthink. Sometimes it's an energy that can be cold or detached or distant. So we want to keep an eye on that for sure. And then we have a little more fire. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a good pal here, the Emperor himself. And I already mentioned with the elements and the card itself, it just flows really good with Leo. It could be an Aries that you're connected to. Maybe you have Aries placements, right? Because that's what I think of with this Emperor. He is the divine masculine counterpart to the Empress. Now, I do know in some circles the Emperor doesn't get the best reputation, right? But in the good aspect, it's like very entrepreneurial. It's a go getter type of vibe. This is the King of Kings, big boss type of energy. We think of controlling something, controlling a narrative, controlling the actions that we take. So this can be really good. This could represent paternal figures, it could represent authority figures. It's a shot caller, right? So if you're stepping into this Emperor energy, remember it's not gender specific, then that could be a great thing. But when we get to the downside of this card, yeah, it can be overbearing, right? And if I know one thing about Leos, they don't like being bossed around, right? So just watch out for that because you might have an interesting dynamic with people in perceived positions of authority. Because the Emperor is like my way or the highway, right? It's like you're going to do this or you're going to go somewhere else with it. So we want to keep an eye on this. But again, it doesn't have to be bad. Remember, if you're stepping into this like entrepreneurial, controlled, strategic mindset, we love this Emperor. So we're just going to put him down right there. It's an energy that has things under control. It's very, very powerful. So I like that it's showing up for you. Now, moving to the middle, it does soften up quite a bit. We have the Two of Cups, right? And we love this card as well, right? Two people, they're sharing a drink, they're sharing the cups, they're having a great conversation. This card is right up there with the Lovers. Now, when it comes to all twos in tarot, they can represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, partnerships. And this card is like triple partnerships, right? Like, because the element, the card itself, the numerology, it all ties in with people that we care deeply for. That's why it's up there with the Lovers. So whether it's a soul tie, soul connection, a really good friend, a family member, it's just someone that we care deeply for. Very similar vibrational frequency, which is really good. The downside is that the Two of Cups can absolutely represent issues or situations involving people that we care a great deal for, or the people around us, right? Because this card could represent our circle of influence. So this could clearly be somebody else's energy that we want to look at. But normally it's pretty good. Now, moving to the back end, and yeah, the back end of this reading with the Two of Cups and the Ace of Swords, it's very conversational, but we do have the Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth. All aces to me, all of them, doesn't matter the suit, represent offers, opportunities, right? They're very communicative. So they could be conversations, they could be messages, but the Ace of Swords is right, straightforward to the point. There is no BS, no games with this. It's like I have a very sharp tongue. So in the good sense, the Ace of Swords is like very honest, very shrewd, practical, smart, planned out. It's a card of intelligence, so I really do like it. But the downside of it, it could be harsh, it could be mean, it could hurt, right? It's a sword after all. So we do want to see what kind of flavor this is showing up in. So we're going to have to see how the communication looks with this. But it could also just be something that makes sense, like a eureka moment, aha moment. So I like the Ace of Swords quite a bit. Sometimes it will show up when we are going through something serious or there's something that Spirit wants us to take seriously. So we're just going to put them down right there. And for your bonus, obviously, we have your power card, the sun. Love the sun. I connected with source energy, light, life, and love that shines down on us, blessings and abundance. It's absolutely beautiful. So even if this wasn't a Leo power card, this is the best card in my opinion. The only downside to the sun is that it is very, very intense. So watch out for intense energetic fluctuations in this time when this is here. Have you ever had sunburn? All right, watch out for that. So sometimes it could be those aha moments too. So like the Ace of Swords and the Sun together, it's like, aha, that makes sense. But I want to dive deeper in all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Emperor. Let's see what he has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Emperor here? Please. What is going on? This is like a knee-jerk reaction. That's odd. It's either action or reaction here. So we have the Nine of Swords in the upright, right? This is an energy that's like very, very quick to act. Very quick, where it's like, oh, you tell me something, boom, I'm right on top of it. Boom, I'm not even going to waste a second. Boom. Like, I don't know. That's how this is coming through with the fire-air combination. Now, the Nine of Swords is a wound tight type of vibe, right? So again, watch out for stress or issues with people in positions of authority for some of you. But to me, it's like, nope, I have to do something about this. I don't know. The way it's coming through intuitively, either it is like very sudden action or sudden reaction. You know how some people, when they get a piece of information, they take time to digest it. Let me think about it. Let me plan this out. Then I'll do something. This is totally opposite, where it's like, no, I already know what to do. Boom. Oh, you tell me. Now let's get on top of it. It's very, very quick to action or to react. So just watch out in this time, because again, for some of you, this could be really good. That could be advice, where there might be something or a situation where Spirit's like, all right, handle it now. If it's stressing you out, if it's getting under your skin, if it's a problem, handle it right away. But for others, it also does feel like a knee-jerk reaction. So I do want to see how the rest of it plays out, because if we keep getting similar undertones, then it might be risky. So we're just going to have to see what's up. We're just going to put this down right here. Whether that's you or somebody else, it's like I'm very quick to action or reaction. So let's keep going. Let's see what the two of cups has. So that's interesting. So why is the Two of Cups here? And yeah, especially if there's someone saying, hey, Leo, you have to do this. Leo, you have to do this way. I don't know, I'm not sure how we feel about it. Let's go in on the Two of Cups. Okay. Okay, double nines on the bottom. So we have the Nine of Wands. This is the total opposite. Like, this is complete think before you act. These energies are showing up in totally different vibrations here on the front, because like this one in the with the Emperor is like super, super quick. This one is asking for advice. It's asking everyone like, hey, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? I don't know. It's just total opposites here, and I want to see like, hey, if you're in a spot where you could choose either path, which one would be better? But the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, is extremely, extremely cautious, right? This is someone that's seen a lot of things. This is, wisdom through experience, someone that's been around the block, right? And then when I see the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups, it's like, I'm going to ask so-and-so what they think about this. Then I'm going to ask this person what they think about it. It's like gathering opinions before making a move. Now, again, for some of you, that might be advice, right? Maybe Spirit's like, hey, well, maybe ask the people closest to you or get some advice from people that you trust. That's very possible with what I'm picking up here. The big downside, I would say, with the Two of Cups and Nine of Wands is if there are some big difficulties with someone that you care very, very deeply for, because this could almost be like blockage or even like rejection type of energy. So it's like, boom, this energy is quick, this energy is withdrawing, this energy is pressing, this energy is pulling back. So it's very peculiar how this shows up. And you know me, I'm a big believer in middle ground. right? Like these energies are a little extreme in their ways. They're just very, very different. We're going to keep moving. Let's see what's up. So I mean, this could be two approaches, or this could be one person in that energy, another in that. So they're totally opposite. I can tell you that. So let's see what the Ace of Swords has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Okay, Ace of Cups, cool. All right, I like this. I really do like this. So the Ace of Cups is in the upright, where this is an energy that's sort of like works itself out in a way too, which I think is intriguing because we have all this action and reaction and pressing, and then this energy is recoiling. But then it's like, oh no, the energy just seems to work itself out with a little bit of time. So if I were to take an advice or an approach to dealing with anything, whether it's work, personal relationships, romance, you name it, there's this energy where it's like, just take a breath and give it some time, right? Just like let it unfold a little bit more before you make a move or before you do this, because it is very cautious in its approach. So we do have this little bit of a warning here. Now, the Ace of Cups, just like the other Ace, talks, conversations. So with all this energy up here, it's like these energies need to get on the same page, right? Because remember, swords, logical, pragmatic, cups, emotional, and this showed up in the same place. So it's like you might be seeing a situation from a completely different perspective from somebody else. So I feel like, yeah, there is an important talk or serious talk that either needs to be had or has been had, where it's like, no, these energies need to get on the same page, right? Because it's like they're viewing the situations from two different perspectives. And I don't want to make this reading too convoluted, but to just simplify the Ace of Swords with the Ace of Cups, either it's really good energy coming towards you that just seems to work itself out, or this could be an important or serious talk that needs to be had so people could get on the same page, right? So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I like this route the best, right? If these are all different routes, I like this back end one the best. But if you look here in the box, position number one, we have the Emperor with the Nine of Swords in the upright. This is like a flight response, very quick, sudden action or reaction to something where it's like I hear about something, then I act on it, or I feel this and then I act. It's like there's no gap between information being received and action being taken. It's just very reactive to me. So there is a little volatility. And yeah, watch out for issues with people trying to tell you what to do or how to handle something. Like, I don't know, there could be something with an authority figure. In the center, we have the Two of Cups, Nine of Wands, complete total opposite, where this one might be being too cautious, where it's like this person's asking this person and that person and that person. And there's nothing wrong with aggregating information before making a choice. But like, yeah, these are just too far off base, if that makes sense. Watch out for blockages in communication, because I do feel like there needs to be an important or serious talk on the back end where these two energies need to get on the same page. We have the logical approach and the emotional approach. I do think these energies could bring it back to a ground level. But yeah, I feel like a talk needs to be had. That's for sure, because it's like they're seeing things from a totally different vantage point. All right, so let's go through and do a quick. We'll leave it at that if you want to take a screenshot. Let's get into the shadow card. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got? Thank you. Cool. Eight of Wands. And it's like a very similar energy to what I was picking up right here in the front, where the energy is just like, boom, it's reactive. Now, one thing I will say about the Eight of Wands, aside from the action-oriented nature of it, it is a conversation card. So we've seen this show up heavily within the reading about the important or serious talk. But Eight of Wands is quick. It's one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. It's usually the Eight Wands cutting through the sky, very rapid. So it fits this bill and this bill right here on the back end. So in this time, I think cooler heads prevail, right? There's just something about that where it's like cooler heads prevail, where it's like it needs to be approached from a balanced approach. So whether this is someone you're connected to that is a little volatile or a little extra reactive, it's like, all right, don't poke and prod. For some Leos, listen, I'm a fire sign myself. I get it. Sometimes we can lash out depending on the situation. So I would just watch the temper when this shows up. But there is some importance around communication, that's for sure. So we're going to put that down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice. The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.